first thing to do, let's loosen those cap retaining bolts. Just loosen them off. Make sure they're slack. I don't want to fight with them when it's off the engine. So I'll loosen them. See what's inside. Well, air recirculation valves. Not in bad condition, them at all. I'll leave them loose. Like I said, I still haven't made my mind up whether we're changing the covers or not, so we'll leave them there. Then the nuts and bolts are safe. There's a bolt missing there. I think that's got a wire tag on it. Right, so the next thing is to remove the rocker cover. Okay, that's all bolts undone. Now you'll notice each one of these comes with its own little rubber seal. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, well, we'll renew them. Don't put any of them back. They've been in an engine, they've been under heat, they've been under pressure, they've been under stress. Don't put any of them back. Renew them. Matter of course. Just pop that last one out. Okay, so that cover should pop off now. Ooh, that's a bit snug. Right, sometimes on these covers you get a pry point. There isn't one, so it might just be a case of very gently with a plastic mallet. There we go, just very gently. Okay, and we're in. That's nice and clean inside. Don't know if you can see that. Okay. Right. Now we're into the heart of things. Let's remove the seals first. Take them off. Again, when you rebuild, you replace these seals. You don't ever put anything back, simply because it's false economy. If you have a leak, then you have to take it all apart to fix the leak. So it's always best to put new in. I mean, I suppose if you really wanted to, you could save the rocker cover gasket and reuse it when you put the engine together for its initial start-up, and then you take the rocker cover off again to recheck the valve clearances when everything's seated, and then you put the new gasket on when you've checked them. That would be the way to do it, I suppose. Yeah, as a matter of course, all seals, all gaskets on a rebuild replaced. The next thing to do is to remove these caps that hold the camshafts in place. White metal bearings. Yeah, it's a 16 valve motor, so there's 16 lobes, 8 on each cam, 2 camshafts. And what we need to do before we do anything is set up the valve timing. So, valve timing. You remember I left that bolt in the end of the crankshaft? Well, it has a timing mark on it. So, what we do, I haven't got very steady hands, but if you can see that, what we do is that has a mark on it. TF14. That there casing is where the marks need lining up. There. So you line that up with that mark there before you remove the camchain tensioner. Okay, that is in line. That is why we left that in place, so we could turn it. So now at any point now I could take that off, but what I'll do is I'll dismantle the top end first, and then I've still got that on there in case I need to move it for whatever reason. Okay, having set our timing mark as per the book, we'll remove the camchain tensioner which is round this side of the engine. 2 8mm bolts. Okay, you'll see what I did there. I'll show you in a minute. I'll just take the other 2 bolts out. What I did there was I released the centre bolt on the tensioner before releasing the tensioner mounting bolts. There we go. One Camchain tension, I'll show you this. I released that centre bolt before I undid the 2 outer bolts there, simply because to undo that after this is removed, well, be difficult. So what you can do is you can take that out and you can remove the spring that's inside that and the plunger without dropping it on the floor. So when you come to put this, refit it, you can reset it like that and it doesn't spring straight back out. It stays in. When that spring's behind there, pushing that out, it's very difficult to hold it in that position. So you take that out, you fit it first, and then you put the spring back in the end. Top tip for the Camchain tensioner. Okay. Now you can see there's some slap on the chain now. Okay, so now we'll undo the caps evenly, it says. So I won't be using the impact gun to remove them. We'll do them with a socket, a bit at a time. There is no secret to this. You've just got to be a little bit at a time, just to release the tension, because what happens is the valve springs are pressing against the camshaft. So what we have to do is release that tension gently. Bit at a time. Okay, all slack. Let's whip them out. Well, all released. So we can take that camshaft cap off. Okay. Watch the two dowels there, that they don't fall out. Okay, look in here. You've got a dowel there. And you've also got a dowel there. You've got your O-ring seals there and there. Okay, and two more dowels there. A lot of dowels. Oh, of course, I do need to mention that these are right and left. They're marked. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. There we go. Okay, in reasonably good condition, that. Good, not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad. Right. Now then, that is an inlet camshaft, and as such, it should be marked as an inlet camshaft. I don't know if you can say that. Inlet. Okay. Likewise, this is the exhaust side of the engine, exhaust camshaft. Right, what I'll do before I take that out, I'll just find something to put in its place, so we don't lose the camchain. It doesn't get snarled up. A very small plastic handled screwdriver. Pop that through there. Like that. Again, marked exhaust. You can see that on the camera. Okay. Right. Removal of the dowels. Very, very gently. Well, first of all, we'll take the seals out. Okay, so very carefully, so as not to damage the aluminium. Whip those seals out. Again, we're replacing them. We're not reusing them. Make sure we've got focus on that. Yeah, replace them. Don't reuse. Next thing is dowels. Okay, very, very carefully now. Very carefully, gently, it should just pop out. There should be no need at all to use any force whatsoever to get these out. There we go. You do not want to lose them. Okay, these big ones, I'm not so sure these are going to come out so easy, but I'll just... Oh, there we go. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Out she pops. There you go. Okay, dowels out. You'll also notice there are a couple of O-rings there. On there, very carefully. On there. There we go. Right, looking good. Okay, before we go any further, we'll just loosen these spark plugs because they will have to come out. That's the wrong size plug spanner. For these, they are tiny. Nope. Huh. Right, now we've found the correct spanner, we'll just loosen spark plugs off. Again, it's easier to do it now than it is to do it later on when it's on the bench. In fact, I think what I'll do is I'll just take these out completely. And again, when it's on the bench, I'm not fighting with it. It's all very clean in here, very clean. Plugs aren't bad either. Okay, I've started to remove the cam followers, bucket tappets, whatever you want to call them, and you can see I've named them there, numbered them should I say, there, because they almost go back in the same place. If you can see numbers I've put on them there. Okay, now the ones I've removed I've put in an old egg box, look, and they're all numbered because it's crucial to go back in the same place. With each bucket tappet, cam follower, whatever you want to call it, there is underneath a little shim. You see that little metal shim in the bottom of that bucket? That is the shim that does the valve adjustment, and each one of these buckets has got its own, so you need to keep that little shim there with the bucket because that corresponds to the valve, and also the bucket, well, you see why I call it a bucket, the bucket corresponds to the position on the head because they're worn together. You can see that's polished there, so you need to keep all these corresponding parts in order. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue taking them out, and then we're ready to whip the head off. As you can see, I've taken all the dowels out, so there's no spare loose flying bits that can come off should we inadvertently lay it to one side or turn it over. There's nothing to lose there. There's no bits that can fall out. Okay, so I'll get them last buckets out and then I'll speak to you again. Okay, let's get the head off. Do these in order. They are numbered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Slide the bolts out. Each bolt has a washer under it. Don't leave the washer behind. Left the washer behind on that one. There we go. There we go, all bolts out with washers, all accounted for. Right, there is absolutely nothing, as far as I'm aware, stopping this head lifting off now. So at this point we will have to let the cam chain go. Okay, just a little bit of Oh, there we go. That's... Yep, she's coming. Right, okay. There we go. Got to avoid at all costs putting a screwdriver between those mating surfaces there and prizing, simply because of the absolute damage and carnage it'll do. These are soft alloy heads. Okay, that's that one. And start again. Right. Okay, let's try and get that chain along those pliers. There we go. Right. There's our blade. Camchain guide. That one, I think, has got a bolt in bottom that you can't get to. I'll drop that back down. Move that forward so that barrel will slide off there. Right, before we take the barrel off, let's just gently ease these dowels out. Real gentle. Real gentle. Don't want to damage them, mark them, score them. Tell you what we could do, we could get that gasket off first. That would probably be helpful, wouldn't it? There we go. There we go. Get that out of the way. Okay, so there's absolutely nothing stopping us lifting that barrel off now. It should be. Just wiggle it, get it off the dowels first, like that. Yeah, and then it's just a matter of pull, like that, and it's off. And them bores are beautiful, hardly running. Lovely. Okay, take the base gasket off, like that. Okay, again, get them dowels so we don't lose them. There's one, nice and gently does it. The other one must be in the bottom of the barrel, and it is. Nice and gently does it. There we go. All 4 dowels out. That's it. The engine, top end of the engine, is done. I can't see any reason why this would. There's nothing, is there? Okay, it's fantastic.